one of the exciting things about Bitcoin is the empowerment that it gives the average person. The reason that I'm excited about it is Bitcoin empowers the individual against big banks. Now, I've heard it said,
and big government too.
I've heard it said, and I'm not willing to dismiss this statement, is that governments don't run the world, banks do. And if you look at campaign finance, look, I think it's pretty clear the United States is an incredibly powerful organization. The government of the United States of America is an incredibly powerful organization, perhaps the most powerful organization on the planet. But that the people that make up the United States government get these campaign financing, and that those organizations tend to be big corporations and big banks and Wall Street and
those
that whole thing.
Big bankers give money to both the Democrats and the Republicans. So whoever
give
wins,
me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws.
Is that Rockefeller?
Rothschild.
I think it was Rothschild. Yeah,
Rothbard.
It wasn't Rothbard.
But I mean, that's where I come down on this, is that banks have controlled the world perhaps for a very long time. I don't know for certain, but it certainly looks that way. And with Bitcoin, you can be your own bank, so therefore no one can control you that way.
Right. You don't have to ask anyone's permission to open a Bitcoin account. In fact, you can open as many of them as you want, and no one will know unless you tell them about it.
Yeah. We have seen, you could look back through history. I mean, forget the governments. I mean, the banks fund both sides of wars. They're like, hey, just keep on buying weapons and going into debt because we love collecting interest from you.
Yeah, I agree. It's really hard to explain. It's hard to overstate the importance of what Bitcoin's doing here. I mean, taking money from the hands of the bankers and the governments. These are the traditionally people that have held the money for the longest time, that have controlled money, that have manipulated money and the supply of money. You're taking money out of their hands. You're putting it in the hands of people. It's hard to really understand the relevance of that. That's incredible.
I don't think it's actually that difficult to overstate. Jeffrey Tucker said, "In Bitcoin, we are witnessing the end of the nation state." Now, that is overstating the value of Bitcoin. So we've seen this happen. It's actually rather easy to do. I just did it, but it's very, very important.
Well, with Bitcoin, you can choose who you want to pay and not want to pay. Now, when it comes to regular dollars, right, like the bank, and you keep your money in a bank, the government says to the bank, hey, this guy owes us $10,000. Please give us the contents of his bank account. With Bitcoin, the government says, you owe us $10,000. Give it to us, you bastard.
With Bitcoin, the government breaks into your home and kidnaps you and puts you in a cage and tells you that they're going to keep you in this rape box for the rest of your life unless you give them your private key while they go through all your stuff and find it, as they did in the case of Ross Ulbricht.
People, I think, are going to get more and more fluid as far as government lines in the dirt go. I mean, Bitcoin's going to make a lot of new people very wealthy.
It already has.
And those people are they're going to the Isle of Man. They're going to Grand Cayman. They're going to Panama. They're going to new financial centers. They're telling the United States government, look, we're willing to work with people inside your geopolitical boundaries on our terms, but you can shove it. And
it's a game changer in a lot of ways. Now, there's no doubt, Chris, I agree that the state's not going to shrivel up and die tomorrow because of Bitcoin. But I do think that it's a tremendous tool for those of us who love the ideas of freedom to protect our wealth from the state and to also create new products and services and anyway, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge market that's obviously doing wonderful things, and I would never diminish that, of course.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.